Welcome to our channel Flash Film. Please subscribe to support the channel. Today, we are going to talk about the movie titled After 2019. The movie starts by showing us an enthusiastic young student named Tessa as she begins her college adventure. Right from the beginning, we see her meticulously preparing for this new stage in her life. Her belongings are carefully organized, and she can rely on the support of her friend Noah and her mother, who drive her to the university. Upon her arrival, her mother and her boyfriend Noah lend a hand to help her carry her luggage to her new room. She meets her roommates, Steph and Tristan, two relaxed young girls. Although her mother expresses doubts about Tessa potentially having a negative influence on them, Tessa, determined and confident, reassures her. Her mother then proudly expresses her confidence in her and wishes her good luck. Tessa's boyfriend also bids her emotional farewells. The next day, Tessa meets a student named Landon before classes, thus beginning a new friendship. In the evening, after taking a shower, she is surprised to find a boy in her room, introduced by Steph as a friend. The boy compliments her on one of her novels before leaving. The next day, while Tessa is studying at the library, Steph comes to invite her to a party for the evening. Tessa hesitates for a moment but eventually agrees. As Tessa gets ready for the party, she asks Steph for her opinion on her dress. However, Steph suggests that it might not be ideal for the event. Despite the advice, Tessa chooses to stay true to herself, thus highlighting her authenticity. Arriving at the party, Steph introduces Tessa to her friends. Later, Scott, a member of the group, suggests to Tessa that they have a drink, although she agrees not to disappoint her friend. A girl named Molly suggests playing Truth or Dare. Tessa feels slightly uncomfortable and says it's a game for kids, but Molly insists. So, Tessa chooses Truth. Molly asks her an embarrassing question about the most unexpected place she would have had an intimate relationship. Feeling embarrassed, Tessa prefers to skip her turn. Molly tries to ridicule her in front of others by bringing up the delicate question of her virginity. Tessa tries to avoid the question and says she prefers Dare. Molly then asks her to kiss Hardin. Hardin stands up to kiss her, but Tessa refuses and decides to leave the party. As she exits, she calls her boyfriend Noah. Hearing music in the background, he asks her where she is. Tessa tells him she's at a party with her friend Steph, then she begins to recount the incident to him. Noah asks if she has consumed alcohol. Tessa admits to having taken a sip, which irritates Noah. He starts to blame her, but she ends the call, not willing to argue. Later, Tessa takes refuge in a small library and immerses herself in reading. Hardin joins her and asks what she's doing. Tessa simply replies, "Nothing." He then tries to seduce her, and although he's about to kiss her, Tessa withdraws for a reason he doesn't know. Then, she receives messages from Noah warning her of potential issues. The next morning, Tessa goes to class. The professor asks Hardin a question about a novel. He gives his answer, but Tessa disagrees with him. A heated debate ensues between the two students, and then the teacher interrupts the debate because nobody seems willing to concede. Class ends, and as they leave, Hardin joins Tessa and talks about their class debate, finding it exciting. However, Tessa finds it unpleasant and asks him to stop bothering her because she has a boyfriend. When Landon joins her, she complains about Hardin's rude behavior. Landon tells her that's just Hardin, he's always like that. Tessa asks if he knows him, and Landon explains that he and Hardin are practically brothers now because his mother is going to marry Hardin's father. That evening, Tessa accompanies her friend Steph, who is getting a tattoo. Steph suggests Tessa do the same, but she refuses, explaining that her mother would kill her, adding that her mother has already mapped out her entire future. Steph then talks about her multiple lovers. Tessa mentions that Noah is her only boyfriend and that her mother has preferred him since they were 5 years old. The next morning, Tessa heads to a cafe where she finds Hardin engrossed in reading a book. He approaches her and confides that he finds it difficult to stay away from her, claiming he wants to become her friend. Tessa tells him it's better if they keep their distance, but Hardin insists on showing her something. Though hesitant at first, Tessa eventually agrees. He then takes her to a place he particularly loves for meditation, a beautiful, paradisiacal river. Tessa is enchanted by the place. Hardin suggests they go for a swim together, but Tessa hesitates, knowing she doesn't want to undress in front of him. Kindly, he lends her his t-shirt. Tessa puts it on and dives into the water, swimming a bit with him, enjoying the softness and tranquility of the place. Hardin tries to get closer to her by seducing her, but Tessa reminds him that they agreed to just be friends. Hardin persists, claiming he wants more. Eventually, they end up kissing. That evening, Tessa and Hardin go to a restaurant to dine and chat, then two of Hardin's friends join them. However, Hardin, feeling awkward, asks Tessa to leave. Tessa tells him she'll wait for him at the bar. A short while, Hardin joins her at the bar, and Tessa asks if he was uncomfortable with his friends seeing them together. Hardin says no. Then, Tessa expresses her intention to tell Noah, her boyfriend, about their relationship. However, Hardin opposes it. He mentions that he's not ready for a serious relationship, that he just wanted to have fun, and that he doesn't want to be the reason for the breakup between Tessa and Noah. Upset, Tessa hands him the car keys and leaves to go home, realizing that she has fallen in love with him. The following day, Noah pays Tessa a surprise visit. In the evening, he accompanies her to a party where Steph and her friends are playing a game involving passing a card using only their lips. Tessa refuses to participate, but a young man tries to force her, which annoys Noah, while Hardin intervenes and gets into a fight with the young man. Later, Hardin leaves for home. Later in the evening, Tessa sleeps next to Noah. Then, she receives a call from Landon and goes to meet him, discovering the house in disarray. Landon informs her that Hardin and his father argued and he mentioned her name, thinking she might help calm him down. She discovers that Hardin is furious because his father is marrying Landon's mother while his own mother lives in difficult conditions in London. He's depressed and drinks to forget his troubles. Tessa convinces him to stop, but he drops the bottle, which shatters into pieces, accidentally injuring Tessa and sparking guilt in Hardin. He tends to her wound and apologizes for pushing away the idea of a relationship. They passionately kiss. The next day, Tessa wakes up abruptly and rushes home. There she finds Noah, who is worried sick, waiting for her. Tessa tries to explain to him, then Hardin appears. Noah sees Hardin and understands what happened. He leaves without saying a word. Tessa returns to her dorm, devastated by the feeling of having betrayed her best friend. Later, she encounters Hardin coincidentally. Throughout their conversation, she confides in him about her painful past, marked by her father's departure when she was 10 years old. She also mentions Noah, her childhood friend who became a crucial support for her and her distraught mother. The friendship between Tessa and Hardin gradually evolves into a deep romantic relationship. They share moments of intense and intimate connection. The following day, after classes, Hardin meets Tessa at the library. Their closeness turns into an embrace, but it's interrupted by Tessa's mother, who vehemently opposes their relationship out of fear that Hardin will hurt her daughter. She asks Tessa to break up with Hardin. Faced with this demand, Tessa firmly asserts her independence and her determination to live her life as she sees fit. Her mother then threatens to cut her off financially if she doesn't comply with her demands. Later, Tessa confides in her friend London about the complexity of her romantic situation with Hardin. London warns her, finding it unwise for her to jeopardize her means of livelihood because of Hardin, and advises her to be careful. During the day, Hardin prepares a surprise for Tessa by taking her to a cozy house belonging to a friend of his father, who has gone to Italy for a year. Hardin explains to her that he has entrusted the house to take care of the plants and suggests that Tessa live there with him for a year. Tessa joyfully accepts, and their relationship strengthens as they savor their happiness. They share many moments of laughter and explore different places together. On the day of the wedding of Hardin's father and London's mother, Tessa accompanies Hardin to the ceremony. Despite London's warm welcome, Hardin's father and London's mother also greet them kindly. They express to Hardin how important his presence is to them and get to know Tessa. However, Hardin is angry to see his father with another woman, but Tessa tries to calm him down. When Hardin's father begins his speech and praises Hardin, Hardin is plunged back into difficult memories of his past and confides in Tessa that this man is not the one who raised him. He explains that he has changed, but that some things remain unchanged. He reveals a painful memory. A night when his father, drunk, had gone to a pub and had caused trouble that led to an assault on his real mother at their home. To comfort him, Tessa invites him to dance, but it then evolves into an intimate relationship. The next day after school, she runs into Molly, who asks her about Hardin. The latter seems a little jealous, knowing that he often hangs out with her. Tessa replies that he's doing well and leaves. When evening comes, Tessa notices some suspicious messages on Hardine's phone sent by Molly, which concerns her. Indeed, Molly asks him to join her quickly. Tessa questions Hardine about the content of these messages, suspecting that he's hiding something from her. Hardine seems tense, asking her to trust him and assuring her that everything will be fine. After that, Tessa receives a message from Jace asking her to meet him to discuss Hardine's secrets. She finds him in the car, where he mentions that Hardine might be at Blind Bob's. Upon arriving there, she encounters Steph and her friends. Molly is about to reveal a truth regarding their romantic relationship. Tessa thinks she's going to reveal that Hardine is cheating on her with Molly, but she's unaware that the truth will be much more painful. Molly shows Tessa a video from the night they played Truth or Dare. Molly had asked Tessa to kiss Hardine, but Tessa had refused and left the party. Hardine then vowed to make her fall in love with him and then break her. When Tessa discovers this truth, she struggles to accept it. Hardine denies the facts, claiming it was in the past and his feelings are now genuine, but Tessa turns her back on him and walks away. She decides to go back to her mother's place. She embraces her mother tightly. Her mother asks what's going on, but Tessa tells her she doesn't feel like talking about it and sincerely apologizes for her unpleasant behavior. She promises to obey her mother from now on as she used to. Her mother forgives her. Then, Tessa meets up with Noah, who is surprised to see her. She also apologizes to him and tells him she never meant to hurt him. Noah shows understanding towards her and forgives her as well. They share a laugh. Meanwhile, Hardine feels a deep sense of shame and great sadness. Memories of their tender and passionate moments flood his mind. At the end of the year, the professor hands Tessa an envelope from Hardine. Opening it, she finds photos of the place where he once took her, along with a picture of herself. She reads the words he wrote for her, depicting their love story. He also expresses his realization that love is not just fiction but something real and transformative. In the letter, he sincerely apologizes for the pain he caused her and mentions that she is the person he loves most in the world. The story concludes as they reunite and sit together by the river once again, leaving behind the mistakes of the past and turning to a new chapter in their relationship. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our videos. Thank you for supporting us by sharing the video, and once again, thanks for watching.